All right, this video I'm going to be showing you how to edit and turn in your photos for the A to Z assignment. So I've got my 26 letters right here. Let's get started. I'm going to select them all and take them into Camera Raw. And the only thing I really want to talk about here is that when you crop these, I don't want you to feel like you have to stick to a certain ratio. In fact, I want you to click on normal because I want you to crop these pretty tight. So just go ahead and click and drag a box and you can make this any shape you want. We've talked before about how I want you to use certain ratios for printing. In this case, I don't want you to do that. I want you to crop your letters pretty tight. So this is my letter A. I can get rid of all that and all that. And of course, remember when you're done cropping, you just press enter. And let's look at this C right here. Again, I'm going to crop this just to a nice and tight. I'm not going to worry about the ratios. And then I'll just press enter. I'm also, of course, going to edit my photos by doing my exposure and all of that stuff over here, just like we've always been doing. But we're just adding the step of cropping, and then we're just doing kind of a free form crop here, just to kind of make sure our letters are tight and well constrained. So I'm going to go ahead and crop all of these, and then we will pick this up when I'm done with that. Okay, I've gone in and cropped and edited all my photos. So of course now, excuse me, I have to save them. So over here, I'm going to press Control A to select all of my letters, and I'm going to choose Save Images. I'm going to make sure I put these in a folder where I can keep them separated from all my other A to Z photos. So I'll go into A to Z, and I already have an edits folder, so let's make a different one. Edited and cropped and ready to go. You don't have to give it that long of a name. You call it whatever you want. I'm going to go ahead and double click on that and press Select and make sure everything else looks good. I'm on JPEG here, so let's go ahead and just hit Save. I'm going to wait for this right here to finish before I do anything, and it's done, so I'm going to press Done. I'm going to go back to Bridge. I'll go to my A to Z Photos folder. Here's my, I got to get to my right page. Here's my edited and cropped and ready to go folder, so I'm going to come in here, and here are the 26 photos that I'm going to use for this assignment. So I'm going to minimize Bridge by clicking on this middle button right here. Actually, I lied. Let's not do that. Let's go back to the period folder. So here I am in period 1. You can see I got a file here at the bottom called A to Z Photos.psd. What I'd like for you to do is right click on this and choose copy. And please make sure you choose copy. If you accidentally choose cut, you will remove it from the folder and nobody else will be able to access it. So choose copy. If you do accidentally choose cut because you're trying to work quickly like I just did, just right click again and this time choose copy. Now I'm going to find my folder, which is right here. I'm going to go in here and I'm going to just find a blank spot and I'm going to right click and choose paste. And that's going to make a copy of that file in here so that everyone will still have access to this original file right here. So from inside of my folder, this file, I'm going to just double click on this to open it up in Adobe Photoshop. And now we can start adding our letters in here so that we can turn this in on Flickr. So what I'm going to do is bring Bridge back up and go back into my folder. And now I'm going to minimize Bridge by clicking on this middle button right here. And I'm going to just start with my letter A, and I'm just going to click and drag it here into Bridge, or excuse me, into Photoshop. And let's take a quick look at what's happening here. You can see my photos coming in, and it's really big, and it's got this little box around it that is going to allow me to resize it. And my goal here is to get my photo to fit within this first blue bar and this second blue bar. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to click and drag and move this around, and I'm going to stop when the top of the photo snaps to the top, that top blue line. And you can see when I get close, Photoshop's going to just automatically snap to it like that. So I'll just click it right into place there. Then I'm going to come to this bottom right hand corner. I'm just going to click and drag this up until it matches up at the bottom of that blue line. Now I can't really tell if that's matched up super well, so I want to zoom in, and to zoom in I'm going to hold down the Alt key on my keyboard and then roll the scroll wheel on my mouse. So now that I'm zoomed in, I can see I didn't quite get it. So I'm going to just come and click and move this. And then I want a little gap there on the edge, so I'm just move that out just about like that. And when I'm done, I will press enter. Super important. You have to press enter to tell Photoshop that you're done. If I don't press enter and I come and try to drag this next photo in here, Photoshop's not going to let me because it's still waiting to hear what I want to do with this photo. So press enter, or you could just check this check mark right there. Either one would work. So now I'm going to zoom out by holding down Alt and rolling the scroll wheel. Go back to Bridge, and I'm going to grab my letter B and drag that one in there. Drop that into place, move it so that it's aligned to the top right there. And then I want to try to keep a fairly consistent gap between these two photos. So I don't know, that looks about good right there. And you can see I can't even see the bottom because it's going off my canvas. So I'll just hold down Alt and roll the scroll wheel to zoom out. And I'm going to bring this one up and drop that in right about there. And again, hold down Alt, roll the scroll wheel to zoom in. Make sure you're good. and lined up, and then again, press enter, and hold down Alt and roll the scroll wheel and zoom out. Let me show you one more because this is pretty simple. We're just going to keep doing this from here on out. So I'm going to drop the C in here, again, line it up on the top, try to keep that spacing between letters consistent, drag this one up, and let's say I accidentally did that and I pressed enter and I realized, oh no, it's too small, I didn't do it right. Well, I can go ahead, I can just press Control T on my keyboard, and that brings this box back up. That was Control T, and then I can just click and drag that out right there to resize that, and then again, just press enter. So I'm just gonna keep going until I've completely filled this thing up with all of my letters. I'm gonna pack these pretty tight. You can see I only got 5 rows, so I need to get 5 to 6 photos per row because I gotta get 26 photos in here. So keep your photos in here pretty tight, and we'll just keep going until it's all the way full. Okay, pretend with me that I've filled this thing all the way up and done all my letters and filled up the entire row. The last thing we need to do is we need to just change this up here to put your name here. To do that, we're going to come over here. We're going to choose the type or text tool. It's this tool right here. Its keyboard shortcut is T. And you can see that cursor turns into a weird looking text cursor now. And what we want to do is we want to edit this text that already exists. And the way you know to do that is by watching the cursor. And you can see right now it has all those dots around it. And what those dots mean is that if I click and drag right now, I'm going to be creating a new text box, which I don't want to do. I want to edit text that already exists. So I'm just going to move this cursor in close to the text that's already there until those dots go away. See that? The dots are there now, and then they're gone. When those dots are gone, I can click and drag to select this text that exists right here. And now I can just start typing in my name. And then again, we need to tell Photoshop that we're done typing, and we do that by pressing this check mark right here, or you can press the enter key, but it does matter which enter key you press. It has to be the enter key by the numbers on the far right of your keyboard. So there we go. We've got our text in there. We've got our name in there. In theory, you have all 26 letters in there. All we have to do now is save this and turn it in. We're going to save it twice. So I'm going to go to File, Save. And you can see that's saving it as that A to Z photos.psd folder, or excuse me, .psd file. That's a Photoshop document. And we need to save it as a PSD so that if we need to go back and make changes, we can. But we can't turn PSDs in on Flickr. So we have to save it one more time. So this time we're going to go to File, Save As to save it as a different file type. We're really going to pay attention to where we're saving this. So I'm in O drive period 1, Johnson, Mister. I'm going to go into A to Z photos. I'm going to call this Finished Project or My Letters. You could call it whatever you want. But before you hit save, make sure you change the save as type from a Photoshop to a JPEG. And there's a few JPEGs. So make sure you choose the very first one, not 2000 or stereo, just the very first JPEG. Click on that and go ahead and hit save. This box right here is going to pop up. We always just press OK on that. And that is it. We are done. Now all we have to do is put it on Flickr. Let's look at that real quick. So I'm back here in my folder in Bridge. Here's my original. Here's my .psd. You can see it's got my letters that I put on it. That's not the one I want to turn in. You can't turn that one in on Flickr. It won't work. But if I go in here, here's my finished project.jpg. So this is the one that I'm going to turn in on Flickr. So I would just drag that into Flickr and upload it. It's only one photo, so you don't need to add it to an album. And then I would turn that in on Canvas, and I would